And welcome back to Sack to the Future. We are we are in week number 14. One game has been played already, and that was the Dallas Cowboys against the Detroit Lions, which has a lot of playoff implications and is on the Terrors 89 channel. This one, although it's cross-conference, definitely a lot of playoff implications as well as the current number 2 seed in the NFC, the 49ers at 10-2 are visiting the 7-5, currently on the outside looking in Pittsburgh Steelers. So this should be a good game. Both teams need it. The Niners still with aspirations of home field. The Steelers need it just to try to sneak into the playoffs. Here's a look at the stats, how they got here. You see the yardage is very close. Niners a little bit better, or have actually given up a little bit more yards on the ground. So defensively, statistically, they're very similar, but record-wise, the Niners, of course, at 10-2. Steelers only 7-5. We're in Pittsburgh. Seems to be good weather. Possibly a cloudy day, and cold, but no rain or snow. Not sure what the hell that is. Bobby Lane, he's been back for a couple weeks now, and that has helped the Steelers get back into a playoff hunt. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing started. Let's go to slow. End of game. All right, so the Steelers will be kicking off to the Niners. Now this is 14 weeks into the season of our Sack to the Future Madden season, so some ratings have changed since the beginning of the year. But coming into this game, Madden has both of these teams rated exactly an 80. There you see John Brody, 65%, 23 touchdowns, only the 8 interceptions, and he is close to hitting the 3,000-yard mark, which I think 5 quarterbacks have hit so far. In the Sack to the Future season. I'll give it to J.D. Smith across the 30. Nice move at the 35, but tackled immediately after that. Here's your 49ers offense. Bob St. Clair, Mike Magic, Malakas, Connolly, and J.D. Smith is not a starting right tackle. There's Billy Kilmer, Bernie Casey, Clyde Connor. And the right tackle was supposed to be Bob St. Clair. He's moved over to left tackle because Roland Lakes, I believe, is injured. So not sure who is actually starting today. J.D. Smith will get nothing on his second carry. Third and 5. The main difference between these teams in Sack to the Future, like I said, Madden actually has them both rated as an 80 at this point in the season, but the Steelers have played and lost at least 4 games against human-controlled opponents, whereas the 49ers have played and beaten 4 human-controlled teams. So even though they're both rated an 80 for whatever reason, myself, Tears, I don't know if John M's played either one of them, and Vinny X Wolf, we have problems. There you see Bobby Lane, over 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Those numbers may seem low, but that is because he was injured for at least 5 of the weeks. Another reason why they're only 7-5. So that is part of it. We most of us got to play the Steelers without Bobby Lane. I think only one of us, maybe Tears the second time, got to play the Steelers with Bobby Lane. Or maybe it was, actually it might have been Vinny that had to play him with Bobby Lane and actually lost that game. There you see last week, John Henry Johnson went over 100 yards. But early in the season when Bobby Lane was not there, the Humans took advantage and beat up the Steelers pretty good. But they are on a little bit of a run since Lane has come back. 49ers, through a lot of cheating and other means, beat the Bears last week, have beaten the Rams a couple times. And there you see more cheating from the 49ers. As the Steelers on a nice little cross pattern, just trying to get a couple yards. 49ers won't let them have it. They got to rip the ball out. I mean, some people might not call it cheating, but I'm pretty sure it's cheating. That's how the Niners have gotten themselves to 10-2. So great field position for the Niners, and now John Brody's got a short field to work with. He'll go with play action, run away from the defense momentarily, but the right-handed quarterback unable to turn and throw. That'll be a half sack each for Michaels and Lipscomb. Big Daddy Lipscomb. 2nd and 16, they're out of field goal range now. They'll give it to J.D. Smith. He's going nowhere. And so the Steelers are just one play away from dodging a bullet after the fumble. John Brody from the shotgun. He's got time, of course. Fires deep. And he was out of bounds. Incomplete. Steelers dodged the bullet. Now, in Sack to the Future, the Niners are looking for home field advantage at 10-2. In real life, 1962, they were only a 6-8 team. It was the Steelers that were the playoff, or a playoff caliber, but I don't think they made the playoffs. No, they did not. But they did go 9-5. So the Steelers were the better team in real life. The Niners have been the better team here in Sack to the Future. Of course, in real life, they were both in the NFL. And so you would think maybe they had played each other, but you would be wrong, as they did not play each other. There's a look at the playoff picture. They see Broncos, Steelers, and Jaguars and Titans all 7-5 for that last spot. So the Steelers in a 4-way tie for one remaining spot. That's why this game means so much to them. Bobby Lane, play action. He's standing in his end zone. That could be 2 points for the cheating Niners. But no, Lane gets away the pass, and somehow it was not intercepted by the man who leads the league in interceptions, Abe Woodson. Take a look at the Steelers offense. Nutter, Lemec, Sandusky, James, and Bradshaw as the offensive line. John Henry Johnson, the great back. Dick Hoke, the other one. Buddy Dial, and a couple other players that I didn't get to, which were Preston Carpenter at tight end and somebody else at receiver. Play action pass. In trouble. Sacked. Friggin' cheating Niners get 2 points. So the Steelers, first drive, they fumble. Second drive, they give the Niners 2 points. Bobby Lane. Play action pass. Hall of Famer Bobby Lane. Holds onto the ball way too long. Fakes like he's going to throw it away, but doesn't. Look at this. Oh, I should avoid the safety. No, I'll hold on to it. Safety. And now the free punt. Out of bounds. That'll bring out a flag. That was a horrible kick. So the Steelers have fumbled. They've held the ball for a safety, and they've punted the ball out of bounds on the free kick. So it's already 2-0 Niners, and the Niners have the ball at their own 34. Brody fakes it to Smith. He's got time, and he unleashes it to J.D. Smith for a first down up to the 45. First completion by either quarterback. Brody, play action again. He likes to move around back there. Gets rid of it right before getting hit. Nice play by Brody on that one. Something Bobby Lane did not do. Gene Lipscomb in the middle. Ernie Stautner and Lou Michaels are the ends. Both pretty good. That's a pretty good defensive line. Padio Schmitz, Reger, and Tarcevic. Willie Daniel, Clendon Thomas, Brady Keys, And someone that I missed as the other corner. Man, why am I slow today? Dick Haley would have been your other corner. Oh, I'm kind of torn. After losing to the 49ers last week as the Bears, I really want them to lose. On the other hand, the Steelers and Broncos are tied for that last wild card spot, so I kind of want the Steelers to lose. So I guess I'm okay either way. That was a completion to Stickles over the middle and a first down for the 49ers. Brody drops back. Play action pass. Look at the time. Fires deep and out of bounds. So he had the time, but part of the reason he had that time is because there was 4 Steelers covering that receiver. I'm not sure that they were all covered by 4 people. In fact, I know they weren't, or that would be illegal. But they obviously had good enough coverage that Brody, with all the time in the world, couldn't find anyone. So it's like a running play. They will give it to Smith this time. He breaks across the line, he thought, but taken down after a gain of a couple. Now we all know that the rushing lead title will be won by a human-controlled player, and we all know it's either going to be someone controlled by John M. or Terrors89. But if you get past all those running backs, all the John M. and Terrors89 running backs, then 2 of the best computer running backs. The Packers have probably the best one. And then the Steelers, John Henry Johnson, and the Niners, J.D. Smith, are both near the top of computer-controlled running backs. Hand off to J.C. Smith. Nice block inside the 20, and he's gone for a touchdown. Right on cue, J.D. Smith. Nice run to the left side. Gets in the end zone. And it's all Niners now, 8-0. The 49ers are tied with the Packers for home field. And the Packers have to play the Cowboys in a couple weeks. And the Cowboys have, coming into this week, have won like 5 or 6 in a row. So that is not an easy game for the Packers at all. So Niners are thinking if they can win this one, they very well could be the home team throughout the playoffs in the NFC. Bobby Lane's got to do something to stand in their way. Yes, John M. definitely has won the first 2, and his Charlie Toller leads this year, but Jim Brown is only behind by about 45 yards, I believe it was. But then behind him, it's like a 300-yard gap, which is another one of your running backs, Tears, and then another like 200 behind him. So it's definitely going to be one of 3 human-controlled guys. There's Colchico, Nominelli, Kruger, and Miller across the line. John Thomas, Matt Hazeltine, and Ed Pine are your linebackers. Kimbrough and Dove are the safeties. Abe Woodson's amazing, and Jerry Mertens is not, but they're both cornerbacks. Abe Woodson leads sack to the future in interceptions this year. And yes, he did have one against the Bears, at least one. John Henry Johnson gets across for the first down. Somebody's hurt. And it might be Eddie LeBaron. No, it's Leo Namalini. How come I can't say his name? I know his name. It's not like he's not famous. For some reason, I can't think how to say it. Anyways, famous people going down to injury here in week number 14. It looks like John M. is definitely going to win the passing title as well, as the only 2 quarterbacks already over 4,000 yards are the Houston Oilers and the New York Giants quarterbacks. Milt Plum, I think, is in 3rd, and he's out by 700 or 800 yards and has already played an extra game. I did not check MVP, but here's Bobby Lane, certainly not the MVP, but he does complete it to Dial for another first down, so the Steelers have been able to convert a couple first downs here. Indeed, Stonewall. That is the biggest headline of Week 14 so far. The battle between 2 of the hottest teams in football, the Lions and the Cowboys, resulted in starting quarterback Eddie LeBaron is not he's the starting quarterback now. Don Meredith was the starting quarterback that got knocked out of the game. However, the good news for the Cowboys is there's not much difference between the two in 1962. In fact, in real life, Eddie LeBaron was the starter, or started more often than Don Meredith, so at least it's not like the Steelers when they lost Bobby Lane and had to go with Ed Brown. Another first down conversion, so the Steelers are definitely milking some clock here. As long as they get points on the board, they could get right back into this thing. There's Dick Hoke getting a chance to carry the ball, and the stiff arm put out there on number 78, who's the Rams' worst nightmare. But Dick Hoke just pushes him away with one hand. Another first down for the Steelers. And up to Hoke again. He did so well the first time, they give it to him the second time. This time, he takes a shot from Matt Hazeltine, the Pro Bowler. But he gets up unaffected, and it's now 2nd and 1. 5 wides for Bobby Lane. He will run backwards at first, and then he goes left, and he sticks the ball in his other hand, which was smart. Gets the first down and injures himself. All right, so the first game of Week 14 had a starting quarterback get injured, and now you see Bobby Lane thriving, rolling around in pain. He's working on the neck, although he's clearly holding his arm when he was on the ground. So, in comes the ex-Bear Ed Brown. He's not the worst quarterback in the league, but he is definitely a backup is where he belongs. John Henry Johnson might become the featured player in this game now. See if the Steelers bother to call a play before the end of the first quarter. They will. It's a handoff. The Niners and the whole world knows it's going to be a handoff, so that makes it hard for John Henry. And that's the end of the first quarter. Well, the Steelers are down by 9 and down a quarterback. It's not looking good. However, it is looking good for the Titans, Broncos, Bills, Oilers, and Jaguars, who are all rooting against the Steelers. Brown from the shotgun. He goes right, goes left, throws in the middle, and it's Womack. Ed Brown showing a little bit there, but short of the first down. Chip shot field goal here from Lou Michaels, who I actually just now realize is kicking with his right foot, which is inaccurate, but at the end of the game we'll go ahead and change him to the left-footed kicker. He makes it, though, even with his right foot. Fairly impressive. Right down the middle. And now the kickoff. Woodson was waiting for him to cheat, but he actually just plays normal football for once and gets up to the 31-yard line. J.D. Smith up to 929 yards. The only computer backer that has gone over 1,000 is Jim Taylor of the Packers, but both of these guys, John Henry Johnson and J.D. Smith, are close. Brody will throw. He hits Johnson for a couple. That was Jimmy Johnson, the 6'2" receiver from UCLA. First round draft pick of the 49ers last year, 1961. Sixth pick overall. And if you're a fortune teller or have a crystal ball, oh, there's Luke Michaels getting up in the air and knocking the ball down. No, I mean Lipscomb, not Michaels. So a nice play there, and now it's a 3rd and 6. There's a completion of Johnson again. I was going to say, if you are a historian of the game, you'll probably wonder why he's catching balls when he's clearly a 5-time Pro Bowler, 4-time All-Pro, Hall of Fame corner. But the reason is because he started his first couple of years. He played some offense. At least in 62 he did. He will be at corner in 64. From 64 to 76, he'll be a stud corner. So, for all you Jimmy Johnson fans out there, just hold on. He'll be moved to corner, and his ratings will go way up soon enough. Niners now trying to get inside the red zone. Brody's going to throw for it. Right down the middle to McPie. A funny feeling, huh? Yeah. Oh, Bobby Lane decided to scramble, and he paid the price. Got about 2 yards, and they haven't said what's wrong with him, but he hasn't come back. Brody on the money to Casey. And this has the feelings. I also have a funny feeling, Stonewall, that this is going to go the Niners' way. Oh, but wait a minute. Just as I say that, the Steelers come and stop him from... Okay. I was going to say, if he does a spin move and gets into the end zone for 2 points, that would just be classic cheating 49ers. But the 49ers actually have something go wrong for once. Look at that. Bam. Kicker trying to sell the penalty, but it was blocked, so you can tee off on the kicker if you want to. Dial brings it out to the 30-yard line, and the Steelers and backup quarterback Ed Brown are going to need a touchdown on this drive. Now, this is 1962. Fortunately, we do not have the funds to create a close game or anything. They're just going to have to play it out. Ed Brown over the middle of Ballman. Who the hell is Ballman? Gary Ballman, he's true. I just never heard of him. I was afraid it might be roster filler, but there he is. He played in 3 games in 1962. The 8th round draft pick of the Pittsburgh Steelers out of Michigan State. Well, this must be one of his 3 games. And he comes up with a catch there. And off to John Henry Johnson. 10 carries, 47 yards, despite being keyed on by the 49ers all day. There you see some of the games below the Titans and Dallas Texans. That's a big one, and that'll be on the Vinny X Wolf channel. I don't think Vinny's doing the Vikings and Raiders, but it looks like the profile might be on the Vikings. Oh, no, wait, I don't even know what's going on. There's lots of profile. There's lots of profiles now. I'm pretty sure the Dallas Texans and Titans. No, actually, I think Vinny is doing the Packers game now that I think about it. So I don't think anyone. Tears, are you doing the Dallas Texans and New York Titans? I thought somebody was doing that. Anyways, the Steelers failed to get a first down. And they're going to punt it to the 49ers. And I'm not sure if the Bengals have won a game or not yet, but they are currently losing to the Cardinals, who are as close to being out of the playoff picture as you can be, but I guess technically the Cardinals are still Bernie Casey, 1 catch, 2 yards, but 1 touchdown. Well, folks, if the Niners score on this drive, I don't know what I'm going to do to keep you around for the second half. Really hoping for a Steeler stop here. So, on cue, they start by giving the 49ers 5 free yards. Everything going right for the 49ers this year. The tipped passes have been ridiculous when the 49ers are involved. Teams drop the ball regularly against them. You saw the Steelers already fumble for no reason. Bobby Lane fake like he was going to throw the ball out of bounds. Instead, he holds on to it, takes a safety. Just everything convenient for the 49ers this year. Maybe they're a team of destiny. I don't know. Oh, look at that. Reversal of fortune. Of course, Brody is going to pick up the ball with 7 Steelers around him, right? Friggin' 49ers. Come on. Let's take a look at this play, and you tell me who should recover the ball. Baker comes in untouched. That's 49ers being stupid. He gets destroyed. 5 Steelers lay there and do nothing, and eventually Brody picks up his own fumble. Boom, look at all those Steelers. Somebody pick up the ball. 28 falls on the ball, and somehow 76 also falls on the ball and squishes it back into Brody's left hand. Unbelievable. Madden perhaps has predetermined that the 49ers are winning the Super Bowl. Brody throws that out of bounds. Now, of course, part of the playoffs is just matchup. So I actually, when the 49ers played the Giants, they lost, right? I think so. So, but they beat the Bears. I don't think they've played the Cowboys. But just out of the two, out of the Packers and the 49ers, it felt like it was way harder against the Packers, but they both beat me, so. The 49ers didn't seem like they were that great. They were good, but not great. And I would move the ball against them, and then stupid things would happen. Just drop ball here, fumble inside the 5-yard line. Abe Woodson making ridiculous plays. They still haven't said what's wrong with Bobby Lane, but he's definitely taken at least the half off. I'm not sure that he's coming back anytime soon. It's Brown's game to lose. And he completes the Carpenter, who refuses to go down. Breaks 2 tackles and gets the first down, and the Steelers needed some kind of spark like that. Cowboys have won now, what, 5, 6 in a row? Packers have won 10 in a row. So we could have, in 2 weeks, we could have 2 teams that haven't lost for over 2 months playing each other. Oh, 5. Okay. All right. Well, still close. Brown completes another pass, another first down for the Steelers. They really need to get this in the end zone, though. As they hand off to John Henry Johnson, and right, yeah, you first have to beat the Giants to get yourself as the division leader, and then the playoff preview against the Packers should be fun. Play and watch. I would need the Cowboys and one other team to beat the Packers. Not sure that that's going to happen. 2-minute warning. 15-3. Big play here. Cannot turn it over. You got to at least get the field goal, but touchdown would be glorious. Brown from the shotgun. Throws. He hits Womack, who drops the ball for no reason. It's almost as if he caught it, turned around, saw the 49er helmet, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to drop the ball because the 49ers have to win. So Lou Michaels is going to attempt another right-footed field goal. Not sure how seriously the Steelers are taking this game, but he does make it. 15-6. There you see the Broncos are going to be playing the Patriots. So, yeah, I said earlier I'm not sure, but now I realize I definitely do need the 49ers to win this game because they're out of my division. So the Bears, all they got to do is win a couple more, and they should make a wild card. And the Steelers cannot get in front of me. Right now we're tied, the Broncos and Steelers. Broncos are likely to lose that game against the Patriots. So we need the Titans and Steelers to also lose. And then if the Bills and Oilers both win, we'll just have like 73 teams tied at 7-6. Brody quickly answering. And there's Jimmy Johnson. So, just like that, 2 passes, 50-something yards, and they're right in field goal range themselves. The Niners are the 3rd best team in all of football coming into this one. Low snap. Brody gets it, hands off to J.D. Smith. He pushes 2 Steelers back and breaks the tackle, breaks another tackle. Finally goes down. J.D. Smith. Incredible run there. Under a minute to go now. Brody from the shotgun. Over the middle. Connor drops it. Huh, interesting. Not sure if any other games will be played tonight, but there's plenty of more. On a throw out of bounds, who got injured? Okay, the Niners are going to go for a field goal. Remember, they did have the extra point blocked. No problems on this one, though. And the Niners extend their lead to 18-6, and the Boo Birds are coming out here in Pittsburgh. They are booing their Steelers. Tommy Davis, the 11th round pick of the 49ers back in 1957. He's the one who made that field goal. All right, what can you do, John Henry Johnson? If you haven't heard of John Henry Johnson for whatever reason, he is a Hall of Fame running back. Actually started his career on these 49ers, then went to Detroit before Sack to the Future started. Since we started Sack to the Future in 1960 in real life, he's with the Steelers all the way until he's 37 years old, and then you'll see him on John M's Houston Oilers. So that begs the question, when John M gets John Henry Johnson, even though he will be 37 years of age, will he be able to win a rushing title with him? 37-year-old rushing champion, that would be something.
Let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Encroachment, defense.
Oh, that's Clark Miller going offsides. And Ed Brown, after throwing that ball to no one on past the first down marker, he will punt. And with only 30 seconds left, that's a fantastic punt. Out at the 3, even more reason for the Niners to just calmly hand it off and get into the locker room. Now, if they knelt it, they might actually kneel themselves into a safety. So I think there'll be a running play here. J.D. Smith will get all the way out to the 20-yard line. So Niners basically trying to run a give-up play, and they get 17 yards. And there it is, halftime. 18-6, 49ers. 10-2, San Francisco 49ers lead the 7-5 Pittsburgh Steelers. To the joy of all the AFL teams, but not the same feeling on the other side of the coin. So, for those of you hoping to see Bobby Lane in the second half, it looks like he is gone for the year. Wow, for the game, as Brown comes out to start the second half as well. Whoa, Jay Vincent is 1 of 9 for 6 yards. Brown, sidearm throw to Mack, who gets across the 50. That was interesting from Ed Brown. Goes sidearm on us and completes the pass. Ends up being a pretty nice play. It was Red Mack, of course, the man from Notre Dame, who was on the receiving end of that. I just realized Ed Brown went to the University of San Francisco. So that's interesting. Here he's playing the San Francisco 49ers. Oh, yeah, Madden's pretty amazing and things like that. Oh, Ed Brown showing some wheels. What is going on with Ed Brown? The 34-year-old running around back there making some plays. That was Ballman on the other end of that. And the Steelers, if they, again, just like last drive when it ended in a field goal, if they can put one in the end zone, This game remains a game. John Henry Johnson, he's still working. He gets 8 or 9 yards on that one. He's up to 67 yards. John Henry Johnson, not as flashy as J.D. Smith so far in these games, but he may actually have more total yards. He's just a grinder. He grinds you, and then next thing you know, just like last week, you see he's at 102 yards for the game. Ed Brown's got all day this time. He completes it to Collins up to the 11-yard line. Ed Brown not playing too bad here in the second half. That's Collins' first reception of the game, and we have a 1st and 10 technically as the ball's at the 10.5-yard line. I was going to say Stonewall. I don't know either why that happens. Or sometimes when you throw the out pattern to the sidelines, they decide to step out of bounds. I'm not talking about contested where they're trying to make a great catch. I'm talking about the pattern is for them to sit by the sidelines. No one's covering them. You throw it to them, and they take a step back and then catch it, so their back heel's out of bounds. And you're like, what? But, yeah, the swing passes, when they catch it and then just run right out of bounds. No one's in front of them. Speaking of no one in front of them, nobody was in front of the Steelers' back, Dick Hoke, on that one as he gets right into the end zone untouched. Look at this. Boom. That's how you block guys. The Steelers opening up a huge hole. And they're right back into this game. It's 18-13. Would like to say that the Broncos were watching and maybe learning how to block as an offensive line, but I know they weren't. All right, so the Steelers actually have more total yards now, and it's back to a 5-point game here in Pittsburgh. The Boo-Birds went away. The fans are finally rooting for their team again. Brody goes back to pass. Nice blitz pick up there. And tries to get it to Brent Casey, but the good coverage by number 27, who, of course, is Dick Haley, the guy I forgot to tell you was starting because I read too slow. Yeah, the swing pass. The computer also doesn't like it because they're terrible at it, but as a human, you can do it. You just have to throw it way early, and then sometimes still you have to hit the controller the other way, and he looks like a moron as he jets like 5 yards in just to stop him from running out of bounds. Certainly not the best play. However, when you're playing against another human opponent, and you both know that it's a terrible play, then sometimes it can actually be a good play. Because you're thinking, why would he run that play? That's a terrible play. In Madden, not in real life. In real life, it's fine. Speaking of running backs catching balls, that's future quarterback and current running back, Billy Kilmer, making the catch on that one. But short of the first down, so the Steelers will get the ball back with a chance to make this game very interesting. John Henry Johnson started off 55 yards on 16 carries. He's got just 2 carries here in the second half for 12 yards. Not sure what they're trying to say, except for there hasn't been as much time played in the second half as there was in the first half. Play action pass. Ed Brown. I think he went sidelines again, or sidearm again to Ferguson. And that's a gain of 4. So Ed Brown pulling out the sidearm for this game. I guess we don't have to watch that 17 times. All right. Halfway through the third, Brown from the shotgun. He will throw it to Johnson, who shows that he can catch the ball in the backfield as well. Brown quietly putting some stats together. He's over 100 yards now. Oh yeah, Packers and Chargers. That's definitely got to be Vinny's game. 10-2 Packers against 9-3 Chargers. Chargers, like the Niners, are a team playing way better than they were supposed to in real life. At one time, the Cowboys were a 4-4 team, looking like they were going to miss the playoffs. Not anymore. Currently, your NFC East leaders at 9-4. Completion to Carpenter, up to the 36-yard line. Ferguson in motion now. See how he blocks for John Henry Johnson. Oh, it looked like he had a hole, but it was shut down. And after that run, it would make sense to show us a graphic about the passing offenses, which is what you got there. Brown's going to throw a pass behind the line to Burrow, but the Steelers block it well, and it turns into a first down. Nice play call by the Steelers there. See the 49ers head coach, Red Hickey, on the sidelines, pacing a bit. And then you see Buddy Parker, some kind of contraption on his head. Not sure what that is. Maybe he thinks he's a radio DJ in 1962. And Brown sidearm again. Complete. The Steelers like to catch the sidearm passes apparently, but they also like to hold. That's Ray Lemek. On the hold. So that backs the Steelers up, and the 49ers conveniently come to get saved by the referees. Now between Johnson and Hoke, I believe the Steelers are over 100 yards running now. And there's more weird things by the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line, trying to make sure they don't accidentally win this game. Brown stands there for an hour and gets sacked. So it's as if the Steelers were doing everything they could to get the ball back to the 49ers on that drive. Plenty of time left, though. Brown, after he's done failing on the first 3 downs, he stays out there to punt on 4th downs. You see Battle of the Semi-Pros down below, 3-3. Brody quick drop and throws it to nowhere. Brody has certainly cooled off here in the second half. Brody's going to get hit, but he got rid of the ball first to Connor. That's a nice play by Brody. 40 seconds left in the third. Play action pass. Now Brody, off of his back foot, puts it on the money to Bernie Casey. He never set his feet, but he didn't have to with that pass. And the Niners are driving again. Brody's going to throw again, another quick drop, and delivers it to McPie, who takes a shot. That shot was delivered by none other than a roster filler. No, not roster filler. They gave the tackle to... Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, he's supposed to be hurt, I think. Now, it said the tackle was by Myron Adios. Yep, he's he's injured in 1962. But here in Sick to the future, he was able to come back before the season was over, so... That explains that one. Niners on the edge of field goal range. So if the Steelers don't give up another yard, they might get out of this without giving up any points. Brody launches it to the pylon, but nobody's there. A little bit overthrow on Bernie Casey, who was running the pylon route. And the Niners aren't going to take a chance. They're going to punt this ball. Now, if it's a touchback, there's only a net gain of 14 yards. Let's see what Davis does with it. Out at the 18. Okay, so a 16-yard net gain. Not sure if that was worth it. Probably would have just played myself. And probably would have threw a pick six. Brown now. He's going to roll to the right and then come with an overhand throw, and that's why it was dropped. Brown's sidearm throws have been being caught, but the when he goes traditional, the Steelers drop it. Another overhand throw. This time is actually held on to. The 49ers are #1 in the league in takeaways because they cheat. So it's the confirmation that you needed. Nobody turns the ball over against anyone else more than they do against the 49ers. And there's the thing we were talking about, Stonewall. The receiver just decides to go out of bounds before catching the football. Backpedals out of bounds. Absolutely ridiculous. Not even sure if you're still watching, actually, as the YouTube keeps saying that there's 2 viewers, then 1, then 0, then 1, then 2. So, whoever is watching probably agree with us that that was a stupid way to backpedal out of bounds before catching the football. Steelers defense is going to have to do it one more time. Brody on the play action. They'll hit Stickles. Brody goes over 200 yards. Steelers have only turned it over once today. That was early on one of their first drives, which helped the Steelers find themselves down by 9. Since then, the Steelers have played pretty well. Is that Brody that's hurt? No, someone else is hurt. 3rd sack for the Steelers. No announcement on who was injured, probably an offensive lineman. There's a completion to Stickles again, but that's only a couple. And now we've got a 3rd and 14. What the? Brody gets a couple hours back there and eventually finds Jimmy Johnson. But being the 49ers, they can't just do an easy pass. He's got to misfire and then have Johnson make a diving catch. Okay, nobody back there with Brody this time. And he completes to Stickles again. Stickles' third catch on this drive. Brody's over 250 now. Okay, yep, so you definitely saw that pass that's you're talking about earlier. J.D. Smith breaks a tackle, goes across the 30, takes a shot. But J.D. Smith's up to 66 yards. And this seems like a put-away drive here for the 49ers. Now, they are up by 5, so if the Steelers hold them to a field goal, it's still a one-score game. But this just has a feeling that the 49ers are going to put it in the end zone and end this thing. Wow. Brody throws it into a bunch of traffic there, but Bernie Casey actually plays defender and knocks it away from being intercepted. To Triple H and Kurt Angle and Eddie Guerrero, the top stats man for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. J.D. Smith carries a couple Steelers to the 19-yard line. 3rd and 3, a big play for the Steelers. You've got to stop this drive. Give up the field goal. Give yourself plenty of time to get that touchdown. Brody will hand it off to J.D. Smith, and the Steelers do come up with a stop. Nice stop from the Steelers there. Less than 5 minutes to go. The Niners will line up for a field goal attempt. They're going to drain some clock. And Davis puts it home. So the Niners increase the lead to 21-13, but the Steelers and their fans are happy knowing that it is still a one-score game. 4.5 minutes and all 3 timeouts. Plenty of time to run or throw. You don't have to go into hurry mode or anything. Dial, after dropping the ball, actually gets a decent return up to the 27. Okay, backup quarterback Ed Brown. You need 73 yards, but you have plenty of time. So don't do things like this where you come out with no backs back there. I guess the Steelers don't know how much time they have, and Brown will step into it and throw it to no one. You know, the Steelers so cocky, they figure they only need 2 downs to get the first. They could just waste the first down. Now on 2nd down, they come out. And now Brown will drop back, and he will fire this one on the money to Red Mac. And then he's pulled down with a face mask. That's going to be a huge play. Face mask on the 49ers. The refs finally call the game fair instead of always favoring the Niners. And the Steelers are all the way up to the 36-yard line. Well, hopefully you get rewarded for sticking with the game here, as it looks like it might get interesting down the stretch. Brown drops back again. He'll sling that one on the money to Collins. Takes a shot but holds on, and they're in the red zone. Brown's up to 171 yards. It's a good day for a man coming off the bench. Now, he is a veteran, 34-year-old. He's been in the league for a while, so it's not a typical backup that doesn't know what he's doing or anything. And after John Henry Johnson, he'll get a couple yards. They slow down the pace a little bit, as they've done all this in less than a minute, and they had 4.5 to work with. 13 yards away now. If you're rooting for the Niners, like the Broncos are, you do realize that the Steelers not only need the touchdown, they also need the 2-point conversion. So 2 different chances to stop them if you're the Niners. 3rd and 5, definitely 4th down territory. Unless the Steelers think they're going to kick the field goal and try to get the ball back. Brown throws towards the sidelines. Carpenter drops it. For once, he didn't backpedal out of bounds. Instead, he just dropped the ball. So let's see what the Steelers coach is thinking here. He is going to go for it. That is the smarter choice, although some coaches would kick it and try to play defense. Brown throws it, end zone, incomplete, no flags. No flags, and the Niners hold on defense. And as I was saying, the right call would have been to kick the field goal and play some defense. No, it was still the right call to go for it. It just didn't work. And now the Niners are a couple first downs away from icing this thing. Hand off to J.D. Smith. That's the first down. You see the Steelers defense ranked 7th in the league. It's pretty respectable for sure. But the Niners have gotten 312 on them here today. Brody will turn. He'll hand off to J.D. Smith again. He'll bounce off a one-man and then get taken down. He's up to 91 yards now. J.D. Smith having a pretty solid day. That gets us to the 2-minute warning. Niners lead by a one possession, 21-13. But now we're inside the 2-minute warning. The Steelers have all 3 timeouts, so the Niners might need 2 more first downs. Hand off to J.D. Smith, and the Steelers are able to corral him and call a timeout. And here comes the big play. If the Niners get a first down here, it'll be timeout. They can get the clock down to about 30 seconds. So the Steelers can save themselves a minute and a half if they can stop them on this play. Kilmer gets the block he needs, gets the first down and more all the way up to the 43. Nice blocking by the 49ers. That's how you put teams away. That's why they're 10-2. Is unlike other teams, they don't allow you to come back on them. It's a put-away drive for sure. It's not over yet, but it's really hard now for the Steelers. And if J.D. Smith and the Steelers, if they would have did that last down, would have felt better about themselves. But here we go. That's the last timeout. This is definitely a handoff, and then we'll see what the Niners coach has in mind. The first down wins it, that's for sure. Brody, handoff to J.D. Smith. Nothing there. No timeouts. So now it's up to Brody to just work on the clock. He will work it down under 5, I'm sure. Bart Starr would get it down to 1. It looks like Brody's going to do the same. Pretty smart quarterback. Down to 2 seconds. Handoff to Kilmer up the middle. And he does not get the first down. That's the good news. The bad news is the Niners do not have to punt until there's about 20 seconds left. They're going to drain it down 29, 28, 27. Steelers need a good punt return here. Davis will punt it up in the air and force a fair catch. Good idea from Davis. Well, there is still hope technically. The Steelers need 80 yards in at the most 3 plays, but that's only if they're smart enough to go 2 sideline plays. It looks like they're going to go for a stupid 30-yard Hail Mary and end the game, whether he catches it or not. Throws to the middle of the field. It's caught by Dial. Is it caught? I think he caught it, which means they got to get up and spike the... No, he didn't catch it. Okay, he dropped it on the way down, I guess. But that... if they do that same pass, even if he catches it, the game's over. Got to go sidelines. And they're stupid. So, typical AI at the end of the game, absolutely retarded. But McFarland with the pick, that's the second turnover. The Niners do lead the league in turnovers forced, and they go +2 on this one. 49ers improved 11-2, and right now, technically, they are the best team in the National Football League at 11-2. We'll see if the Packers have something to say about that on the Vinny X Wolf channel later this week. I have no idea if anyone else is playing a game tonight. But here from Pittsburgh, the Niners take care of business 21-13. There's a chance I might be back tonight, actually. I might do the Broncos game. I'm sorry, the Bears game. I might come back and do the Bears game later tonight. Depends how I'm feeling, but it'll probably be in a couple hours if I do. Thanks for watching, Stonewall, Tears, and anyone else that joins or watches later. Thanks for watching. This has been Sack to the Future, the 1962 season. The 6-8 real-life 49ers improved to 11-2. So they are not rated as the best team, but for some reason, the Madden gods love them this year, and they are rolling. 11-2 on their way to a bye, maybe home field. There you see they were better at passing, almost as good at running, and of course, what they always do, win the turnover battle. 21-13, Niners looking great. Steelers probably knocked themselves out of the playoffs. Once again, this has been Sack to the Future. You want to join or take a look at other channels to get the full experience of the Vinny X Wolf channel. That's where you'll find the whole playlist from 1960, 1961, and 1962. Then you also have the Tears 89 channel, the John M channel, and right here on Phantom Fighter. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.